jag kommer nog. We wanted to try to catch some sun, and we succeeded for a while. It's sinking so fast.
It's never above the treetops, so if you sit in one place for a couple of minutes, then you need to
move. So we have been chasing the sun now.
So the time it took me to set up the camera on the tripod, then we would need to move again.
Yep. It's pretty cold, about 16 minus.
Celsius.
Yeah. And I have, I think, 6 layers of wool.
It's nice with wool.
Yeah. We just wanted to talk a little bit about our struggles getting pregnant.
Since I guess there are a lot of people out there that have these same difficulties, we thought it would be nice to just tell it how it is, so those who go through the same difficulties don't feel so alone.
It took us about 3 years to get pregnant. We tried for a year at first and it didn't work. So we went to a lot of checkups and
They didn't find anything wrong with us.
No.
So we had no clue what
Everything was normal. So after that we tried some more.
Then I guess we didn't actively try. I don't know about how you were thinking at that time, but
I knew my cycles and everything, but we didn't focus on it that much.
On the right days and stuff like that. No.
Because it was very tiring and kind of depressing to be trying and nothing happened, and getting the disappointment. And
we tried to not get too worried. At least I was, of course, I was thinking that what is wrong and why doesn't work, and is it something wrong with me or is it something wrong with you? Don't know. I was really scared that many years of eating a vegan diet for me would somehow have destroyed more than my mental health and my teeth. My experience with the vegan diet is a topic for another vlog. But I was really scared that restrictive diet had broken me in more ways than I already was aware of.
When you're younger, you just think it's easy. But it wasn't. But
apparently not.
No. But yeah, the doctor said it was nothing wrong with us, and
go home and keep trying.
Yeah, sort of. And then a year or more went by, and we didn't actively try. But one day it happened. Surprise! I was kind of freaky.
I don't remember what day it was. I remember we were gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, we were going on
to Finland.
Yeah, the surprise travel to Finland for my dad. So it was just before that.
Oh, so, some day before that.
Some day before that.
That was.
It was kind of hard then to try to hide it, because we had my family and your family and dinners and wine and everything, and I'm like, no, I'm not feeling for some wine. So it was fun.
I guess there is many couples that has been struggling with this problem for way longer than we did.
Yeah.
And succeeded in the end as well. There are those who doesn't succeed as well.
I guess 3 years isn't that long, maybe, but I think it feels.
So, in your mind, it's really long. Like it should be working the first, or if not the first, then maybe the second time try. But I was thinking like that.
Yeah.
It's really easy. Some people, I guess, gets pregnant
right away.
Just by looking at someone.
Yeah.
My guess is our really nutrient-dense, healthy food that we are producing ourselves here was one.
Helping the case.
Yeah.
Because these last couple of years we have really improved our food and what we're eating and not eating. So it feels like it has something to do with it. But I guess we will never know for sure what was the real cause of it. So now we only hope the rest of the pregnancy is going to be healthy and calm. And then we hopefully will have a healthy child.
Natural birth.
Natural birth. Natural birth and a healthy child.
One can only hope.
Yeah. So yeah, we just wanted to talk a little bit about it, and it's nice for others to see everything isn't that easy all the time.
I guess we need to move now, so we get a little bit more sun before it's way too late. We really want to thank all you viewers for all the support we get. It's really nice.
We also want to thank some new patrons.
Carl, Leslie, Mia, Travis and Tila. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're wondering what Patreon is, there is a link down in the description where you can go and read about it. There is also a short video that we made, a 4-minute video that we made that explains
How to do.
Yeah.
Now we're going home to the cabin again and we are making some sauerkraut.
And we are also gonna show you and talk a little bit about the ferments we are doing here. And also the difficulties we have in fermenting in an uninsulated cabin where the temperature varies very much.
Yeah, can be really hard. So let's go.
This is the ferments we got right now. So this is sauerkraut, some kind of blend with carrots and onions and garlic, I think. And this is paprika with our own grown garlic. Not our own paprika. We didn't get that much this year. And then we have kombucha and water kefir, how you want to pronounce it. I say kefir, when I talk Swedish at least. And milk kefir. So this is now ready to harvest, strain out. And we're gonna make a new batch of this one as well. The kombucha we are brewing about 20 liters of, and we don't have place for that here. So we are borrowing some space up in the village where we have our jar of kombucha. The problem we face here in this little cabin is that we don't have any constant heating. So the temperature goes up and down depending on how much we use the stove. So in the night when we sleep the temperature goes down, and then in the morning we light the stove and the temperature goes up, and then during dinner time when we make dinner the temperature goes up as well. So it's really a challenge with the ferments here. But so far I've kept the milk kefir alive, and this one you have to get a feeling of when they are ready, because you can't rely on time anymore when the temperature goes up and down. So today we are going to make new batches of these and also a new batch of sauerkraut, because this one we eat up pretty fast. Sometimes when we make kombucha they get really reactive, a lot of carbonation. So we have to open them and check, so when it starts to come close here we have to close it again and open and close a couple of times so half the bottle won't erupt. If there is some kombucha experts out there, how would we make kombucha that doesn't do like this? How does they make commercial kombucha that doesn't do like this? Are they using some chemicals? I wouldn't want to do that, but I'm curious to know because we usually carbonate these 2 days in the bottles and then we put them in a cellar, so the fermentation process will stop or slow down. Is there any way? Because the thing is that they are really sour, these kombuchas. We really like it sour. It feels like there is not much sugar left at all in them, but they do this anyway, so I have no idea. Some batches don't, and some do. I guess it also depends on how much sugar it is in the tasting. I believe this is some apple and ginger. Maybe it's the ginger that makes it so reactive. This is water kefir. When we harvest it, we remove the lemons and the date that we have there for taste, but also as nourishment for the culture. The water kefir for us usually gets ready in 2 to 3 days. When it's colder, it takes longer. Since it doesn't take that long to make a batch, we make 1 liter, so we're able to drink it up before the next batch is ready. So we use this liter measurement cup and a metal strainer to strain out the grains. The grains are the culture that makes this possible. They are supposed to multiply when making this drink, and that is also the way you can get these grains if you find someone who makes water kefir. But I haven't noticed that my grains are multiplying that much. I don't know if I should feed them with something else as well, but they seem to ferment the drink well anyway. Here I am squeezing the juice out of the lemons, and then I'm adding it to the mix. The end result then becomes a very nice fizzy lemony drink. We use organic lemons and organic dates for this. It's nice to know that the ingredients are poison-free, and it's also good for the ferment. I have found out that it's better with several small bottles rather than 1 bottle for the whole batch. If you use 1 large bottle, the last drinks from it is not as fresh and fizzy as the first ones. These will now stay in room temperature to carbonate for 1 day. After that, I will put them somewhere cold and drink them before the next batch gets ready. We feed the grains immediately. Here I am pouring approximately 1 liter of fresh water on the grains. And then I'm measuring up 35 grams of raw cane sugar as food for the culture. I don't want a sweet end result, so 35 grams is enough. Some people put a lot more sugar in it, but I guess if you wait long enough, that sugar will have been eaten up by the culture as well. Then I add half a lemon cut into pieces and 1 date. You can add other fruits or berries as tasting, but keep in mind if they get mushed together with the grains, it can be hard to separate them later. The milk kefir is easier, depending on how you acquire the milk, of course. You can see here that it has started to separate. The whey is starting to show. That is a sign that it is ready. It is easier to strain out the grains if you shake it so it gets mixed up. There is no need to have an airtight bottle for these kefirs, but it's less messy if you stir them by shaking if you have airtight jars. There is a myth about milk kefir and metal strainers going around that seems to be hard to get rid of. We have used this metal strainer since we got the kefir grains, and they seem to thrive. I didn't mention it earlier, but milk kefir grains and water kefir grains are totally different grains. Our kefir gets a little bit thick, and it helps to scoop around with a spoon like this to get it to sink through the strainer. These grains are multiplying fast for us. I measure up 2 heaping tablespoons for approximately 1 liter of milk. If I have more grains, the fermentation process goes faster. For us now and with this, it takes about 24 hours before the batch is ready. The remaining grains I give to the chickens or to someone who is interested in making their own kefir. The strained kefir I pour back into the jar that I fermented it in, put in a cold place and consume before the next batch is ready. It will keep for weeks, but if you don't consume it before the next batch is ready, you'll soon have way too much kefir. Just pour some milk over the grains for the next batch. Any milk will do, but unpasteurized straight from the cow is the healthiest. The sauerkraut is very easy. We'll show you here how we make it. The small bowl is just a distance so we can read what the scale is saying. We write down the weight of the bowl that we are making the sauerkraut in so we can subtract that later. Here Tova is saving the first big leaves so she can use it as a weight to keep the pieces under the surface. Cut the kale as you want it. We usually just cut it like this. Kale is the only thing you need, but you can add some carrots, ginger, garlic, onions, whatever you think would be nice. Now see how much everything weighs. Subtract the weight of the bowl. This is to see how much salt you need. We like how it tastes if we add 20 grams of salt per kilo. So here we have 2.3 kilos times 20 is 46 grams of salt. You can have more or you can have less, doesn't really matter. But 20 grams per kilo we have found is a nice taste. We use some nice unrefined sea salt to get the most nutrient-dense sauerkraut. I've read somewhere that you shouldn't use iodine-enriched salt. I don't remember why. Now just squeeze it and pound it with your hands until it gets softer and the liquid seeps out of it. Fill a jar with it and pour in the liquid. Everything should be under the liquid. So try to get all the small pieces from the walls as well. Here you can put the leaves on top to press down the small pieces. The leaves may get moldy, but you can throw those away. It doesn't matter if it's mold on the surface. If you didn't get these leaves, you can put in a plastic bag and fill that with water as well and put a knot on it, so the water won't dilute the salinity. The plastic bag will work as a weight and weigh down all those pieces and keep them under the water. This is how easy it is to make sauerkraut. Now keep this jar in room temperature for at least 20 days. After that you can refrigerate it and it will keep for years. I will put some links to texts, videos and podcasts about fermenting stuff in the description. It's been a long day today. We've been preparing for our little trip to Finland the whole day, and since we haven't got the earth cellar ready, we have no place here that keeps plus degrees when we are gone for many days. So inside the cabin it will be minus degrees.
So there's so much to do before leaving here. So yeah, we can't just lock up and leave.
Well, it's gonna be easier when the earth cellar is done. Then we have a place where it's always plus degrees. So all the ferments and jams and whatever,
Jars
of foodstuffs, all the greens have somewhere to be. Som normala.
So I guess we're gonna go to bed now and rise early and leave. We want to wish you all a Merry Christmas.
And I guess this is it for this vlog.
Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Good night.
Ska vi gå och sova dem alla?
Alla djuren och... Kan du komma Frisin?
Klias det bara?
Loppar i regn.